Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Bravely Default 2. Last time, we received a vision from the Fount of Knowledge that displayed a battle against the Knights Nexus 50 years ago. That gave us a clue to a way we might be able to permanently destroy it. We came here to Sir Sloane's grave as it was really the only piece of evidence that we could have towards this. We battled a vision of him obtaining our final asterisk, the Brave Bearer, and learning how to destroy the Nexus for good. Though, we aren't going to be doing that just yet. And now that we've seen that vision and obtained this asterisk, there's more for us to do around the world. And that is what we're going to be doing for a little bit. This is going to be another sequence of side quest videos pertaining to some pretty important stuff, and I'm going to be getting some very valuable rewards, like that 133 pig right there, totally worth it. So make sure to do a few of these. I know it's the end of the game, and there's definitely a reason to just go ahead and finish it, but I want to go ahead and wrap these up. I think that it is worth your time. So where do we start then? I think it is a good starting point to go to probably Halcyonia, just so we can finish up our expeditions. I can guarantee it's probably been 3 hours since our last one, since I think I set that off before going to the Fount of Knowledge. I think I set that off before we went to Magmel. So, yeah, it's been a bit. Now, I do want to go ahead and showcase Brave Bearer today. I think that's very important. This is a job that I'm going to be leveling up on as many people as I can in this short time frame. So let's go ahead and put it on Seth. Very, very cool design. Obviously, I'll go into that a little bit more whenever the job video inevitably comes out. I'm also going to go ahead and put it on Gloria. Now, as you can see, the stat bonuses from this are really, really good. Obviously, Late Bloomer from Freelancer and the Creature Comforts from Beastmaster can easily rival the Brave Bearer stat bonuses, but this is still really, really good, and also the Brave Bearer has a lot of extra weight, which is really nice when trying to just gear out your stuff. I'm going to try and level up Hellblade on Elvis so I can get Surpassing Power, and I want for Mimic on Adele, so she'll be sticking with that for right now. As I mentioned earlier, Brave Bearer is sort of a stat stick job with various buffs and party support abilities that kind of allow it to fill whatever role you want it to. And so we're going to be seeing two variations of that. Seth is still going to be an attacker, Gloria is still going to be a support/healer. And so we'll get to see that the Brave Bearer is still pretty beneficial regardless of what you use it as. Let's go ahead and check out that maxed out expedition, see what we got. Hello there. Long time no see. Got some treasure from a Woody Hollow. Medium JP Orb, I might turn that towards my Brave Bearers. Boosted Bun MP. What we get from this guy? 4 medium experience orbs, not really gonna be all that useful. 4 medium JP orbs, that'll be a little bit more useful. And let's go ahead and set up another exploration. Honestly, I think I might be able to get 2 more of these before we wrap up here, but we'll see. I don't know. We might be able to get a few more afterwards. Let me go ahead and do one quick check up on the shops. Alright, I didn't really see anything too valuable, so let's go ahead and switch over to talking about the Brave Bearer's specialty, Adrenaline. So, by defeating a target, any target, doesn't really matter, the user's BP will be increased by 1. This is very, very good at just letting you steamroll enemies. So, by just hitting an enemy, killing it, you get an extra BP. Pretty good. It lets you attack more, which is also very, very good, especially in this end game for Bravely Default 2, where, again, fighting enemies and trying to kill them as fast as possible is usually the way to go, as a lot of bosses are going to get more +1 BP counters, regardless of what you do, and then they'll just mow you down, so you want to go ahead and try and kill them as fast as possible. Their special ability is Limit Break. Strike a single enemy with a powerful physical attack and increases all allies' BP by 1. Physical attack and magic attack bonus by 30% is insanely good. Again, being able to kill the enemies really, really fast, buffing your allies, and also giving them extra BP, really, really good. Now, the bravery usage can be pretty hit or miss, because as we're going to see, the Brave Bearer's abilities can be situational. Super Gravity is not one of those. Deal damage to all targets equal to 25% of the user's current HP. The more HP you have, the better damage this does. Currently, we have 6,300 HP, so, you know, that's about, I don't know, what would it be? 1,800 damage? 1,900 damage? Right around there? No, that's like, yeah, I would say like 1,800 damage to all enemies, which isn't bad for AoE, but we've already showcased that we could do way more than that. There are higher versions of it, like Giga Gravity, which is 75% of the user's HP, which is also really good. You can see that these are very high cost, though, so pairing Brave Bear with Freelancer is not a bad idea, since you can just mimic it. Now, Sword Lore is something we haven't seen at all, which is a passive that will increase a weapon aptitude up to S, this case being swords. This is really, really good. The Brave Bear has a B in everything except for shields, and so they don't really get any stat bonuses from weapons. With Sword Lore, you'll be able to get those bonuses, making your damage even better. They also have Obliterate, which I'll go ahead and go over now. Any enemy 20 or more levels below the user is instantly killed at the beginning of battle. Now this is really good for farming. For JP farming, EXP farming, item farming, you name it, this is a really, really, really good item. Not item, passive. It's a really good passive. Whew. This is really, really good. If you're going to try and farm anything, use Obliterate. Now, there are a few cases where this isn't applicable. If you're trying to steal a specific item that can only be stolen, obviously don't bring Obliterate. And obviously it doesn't work on certain enemies like rare monsters and bosses, so don't even bother with it there. Subjob Specialty 2 is similar to the Spearmaster stuff, except this time you get to use a job's second subjob specialty, which is really, really, really good. And that is the passive that I want to grab on pretty much every team member as soon as I can, because that is incredibly valuable to certain builds that I want to try out later. The rest of these abilities we'll go over more as soon as we get them, but for right now, we're just gonna go ahead and boost them just a little bit. I think I have like, what, 5 medium JP orbs? Yeah, let's give Seth and Gloria each 2. That should give them, yeah, up to job level 4. And that is, I think, a decent jump. I think that's a decent jump. Now, what am I going to be doing today? Well, I did say earlier that we would be helping out some locals, and honestly, I think a good place to start for today is Magmel, since there's going to be a lot more side quests that have opened up here than any other place. Now, I have done quite a few of them already before we went into the Fount of Knowledge, so we can see there's only 2 open here. And there's definitely at least one quest I want to do here first and foremost. This one was something that I ignored earlier, but I'm going to be doing it now. I don't want to put the cat amongst the pigeons, but feline free, I can't stand it. Those Siamese cates loll about near the Fount of Knowledge like they own the place. I know Esmeralda likes them, but they're taking liberties. Teach them a lesson. I didn't want to grab this earlier because we hadn't gone into the Fount of Knowledge yet, and I didn't want to just be sidetracked by a side quest while we were just navigating the dungeon and kind of taking it in for the first time. So we're going to be doing it now because we're well acquainted with that dungeon. Also, it gives me a reason to go back in there and level up more jobs. Yay! Now, I do need to be very careful because I need to be looking at my EXP and my levels, because I already plan to hard cut off my level gain at level 60. I do not want to get past level 60. Because I think level 60 is kind of the, alright, you're done kind of level range. And once you get a bit further, certain stat bonuses just kind of get a little too big, and a lot of my math for the end game is built around me being level 60 and getting a Queen Wiki because that'd be really, really nice. And so I do want to be very, very careful about that. Let's see if we can't get this Wiki. Now, obviously, we're going to showcase Super Gravity. Now, it does deal damage, so let's go ahead and see what it does. As you can see, it is HP damage, which means Wikis are completely weak to it, which is very, very good for me, and not very good for them. Unfortunately, I did not put a sub-job on Seth, which kind of sucked, so I guess we'll just do Super Gravity constantly. Lots of damage here. Okay, about 2,300 damage, so I was a little off my math. There we go. 822 JP. We're going to be looking for those Wikis as we fight these Kates, so that is going to be very, very important. Now we have Hypergravity, which is 50% of the user's HP being used as AoE. So let's go ahead and just Hypergravity and then Mimic. You can see it does quite a bit of damage, and because of Mimic, we only have to pay the cost once. And you can see right there that Adrenaline passive giving Seth plus 3 BP just immediately right there. Oh, hey, a Queen Wiki Wiki. Cool. We need to try and get around to Gloria's turn. Oh, nope, that works too. Hypergravity? Oh, it missed. Let's try and just do Hypergravity constantly here. Eventually it'll land. Perfect. Now we get the bonuses. This is going to be really, really good. Okay, maybe a level slash here will work out? We've got a lot of Kates in this one fight. So hopefully this does work out. You guys are pretty healthy. Let's just go ahead and Godspeed Strike again. Very useful for single target fights. Look at that right there. With 4 consecutive battles and 1 Queen Wiki Wiki, that is a huge, huge bonus. Maxing out Freelancer on Adele and getting us to level 59. Just like that. Woo! And that is overkill on the amount of Siamese cats that I need to get, so back to Magmel we go. Hello there. I have overachieved in my duty to kill those cats. Can I get something extra, please? Right, now that it's feline free, hey, that's the name of the quest, I'm going to loll around the Fount of Knowledge myself. Hee hee. I might even take a little cat nap. It's the perfect spot for it. Don't worry, I'm not going to cause any trouble. You won't chase me out of there too, will you? Promise? Oh boy. Hey, I killed 13 of them. Give me something extra. Give me like 2 Reflect Rings. Come on. Now, what are you? I believe this is quest 100, maybe? I think so? I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna mess with that one just yet. Now that we have Obliterate on 2 of our characters, if you're curious on the place that I consider to be the best area to utilize Obliterate immediately at my current level, I would say the top of Wisdwald Tower. If we were to use a Monstrous Medley, which I have 2 of these thanks to side quests, there are a variety of types of enemies in this area, so you want to use a medley, but if we can group up a few enemies together, and then have Obliterate on at least 1 character, you can just kind of auto-battle through this, and ideally, you can get a pretty big bonus here. As you can see right there, that is 3,000 EXP, but 1,000 JP for a 7 consecutive battle fight, which is really, really good, actually. So if you are interested in leveling up jobs right now, this is where I would suggest you do it, and honestly speaking, I might go ahead and wrap up a few jobs here while I'm at it. Just go ahead and wrap up this Monstrous Medley, and I'll make sure to keep my EXP in check. Okay, I think that's enough for now. My Monstrous Medley is about to wear off, but we got quite a few jobs maxed out. Well, maybe not quite a few, but enough EXP to really warrant this bonus. Now, this is still not the best way to level up. There's still way better ways to do this. This is just a good way of utilizing Obliterate almost immediately at our current point. I'm still not level 60, and I was able to get quite a few jobs capped. Now, let's switch. Elvis he doesn't have dual wield just yet, but he has crit amp. I think I'll just go ahead and keep him on Phantom for right now. Gloria, I think she's fine where she is, and Adele is taking advantage of Brave Bear right now. I'm gonna head back to Wiswald. Thankfully, there are a lot of items that the enemies here can drop, particularly a very common drop is a bunch of Earthbreakers. I've got 6 of these. I don't need 6 of them. I might go ahead and go sell 5 of them. And if you stay around there long enough, you can definitely get like 99 Earthbreakers without much issue. So let's go ahead and sell those. And I'll go ahead and adjust my party setup as well. And now that we have Sub-Job Specialty 2, I can finally say we can go over Gambler. Hey, it's been a long time coming. But the last thing I'm going to be doing for today is hunting down a few rare monsters that I could have taken down earlier, but I didn't have the time to. So, we're going to be bringing Gambler into those fights and seeing what we can do with them. Now, the Gambler has a specialty All or Nothing. I've already gone over this before, but let's go ahead and go over it again. Experience, JP or Peak earned after battle will drop to 0, but one of these 3 amounts will also very occasionally be multiplied by 15. This can make leveling up this job and every other job alongside it, if you just have one Gambler, very frustrating if you just stop getting JP. It also means that you can screw yourself out of Peak or Experience. Obviously, Experience is not something I really care about right now, so it isn't that big of a deal if we lose out on Experience. JP is still hit or miss, but I'm at a point right now where I'm pretty comfortable that I can just run up to anything, obliterate them constantly, and get the JP I want. So we can have some fun with the Gambler now. Their special ability is Jackpot, an actually really decent ability here. Completely restores all allies' MP and earns some Peak into the bargain, while increasing everyone's critical chance by 30%. This is really, really good. There are certain strategies earlier in the game where you could dump all of your MP into a strategy or a move, and then have the Gambler use a special move, regain all your MP, and then just do it again. Or if an enemy, like, has Contagion, aka the Knight's Nexus or whatnot, and they drop all your MP, the Gambler's Jackpot can just immediately regain all of that and you'll be okay. Now in terms of their stats, the biggest reason why I did not want to use the Gambler is because I do not like their stats spread very much. I think it is very contradictory and you can't really benefit from it. However, with Subjob Specialty 2 acquired, we can tie the Freelancer to the Gambler and take advantage of Late Bloomer, which lets us actually have really good stats compared to any other job in the game. Ignore Seth's physical attack right there. Really good stats, yes. So we can actually play with this job and it won't feel like pure agony. So that's what we will be doing. Now again, I think I do have one more JP Orb so we can at least take advantage of some of the Gambler's abilities. There we go, job level 3, get Life or Death and Flash the Cash. And we'll see what we can do as we walk around this place and fight some rare monsters. To give you an idea, if we talk to this little girl right here in Wiswald, I hate orcs so much, stupid orcs. To kill a king. An orc killed my Da, so this is personal. They took someone important for me and I'm going to get even. Please, kill their leader and avenge us. Kill the Orc King. We get a Blood Blade for this. You know what? I like your gusto, kid. We'll go kill this Orc King. There are 3 rare monsters around Wiswald that I do want to go ahead and tackle. We'll see how well I do, but they're going to be my source of animosity for today. We're going to be starting with the easiest to the hardest, and so we need to go to the southeast of Wiswald and find our little buddy here in the woods. It's nice to see that spiders are afraid of me because, oh dear, I don't like those things. So right there in the little tree is Skullcap. Let's go ahead and examine you. We are vastly overleveled for this little guy, 47,000 HP. That's, you know, almost regular enemy level. We're going to default real quick, and we're going to see if we can't showcase the Gambler. So we have odds or evens. Spin the wheel to perform a physical attack on a target that can deal double damage depending on whether or not the result is odd or even. Let's go ahead and bet everything on evens, because once we've bet that, we can then mimic, and we don't have to pay the cost again. So let's go ahead and send odds or evens. We're betting on evens, we got it. So you can see 5,000 damage right there. We can spin it again, odds, not so much damage. Odd again, sucks. Odd again, okay, I mean, but still, that was a decent chunk of damage. If we had gotten even on all of those, that would have been about 20,000 damage, half of the enemy's HP, which I'd say is pretty good. If we go to Adele, we can then just Godspeed Strike, 15,000 damage with surpassing power. This enemy does have a counter. If you hit him with physical attacks, he will create a new ad, the Fungu. We're not going to worry about that very much because I can just, you know, cross-slash this guy and send him to hell. Case in point. Now we can go back over to Adele's turn. I guess I can try Victory Smite. Deal physical damage to a target based on the number of battles you've won. This attack is really not that great. 1,400 damage, that's still, I think my regular attacks probably do more damage than that. And then what else do we have? We have Giga Gravity, which is 75% of our max of our current HP. Let's go ahead and send it. There we go. And Gloria got more money. Very good passive. And we have now reached level 60, which means I need to put on those Mark of the Voids. Okay, now that we've hit my milestone for experience, we can move on. Let's see here. The next enemy that I want to go and tackle is actually the Orc King. So let's go ahead and heal up real fast. I'm gonna want to swap. Let's swap Gloria over since she's not using MP. Swap her over, we'll heal. Then we'll swap her back over to Freelancer. It'll make it to where her stats are a little bit lower, but we've got potions for that. Now to find the Orc King going all the way to the western end of this area, we have seen this guy before. I pointed him out very briefly while we were talking about the Wayward Woods, and now we're going to be taking him down for good. Again, I do want to go ahead and preface this. I talked about this a long time ago. A lot of rare monsters have very, very good item drops and steals. So, taking the time to actually go and grab those is not a bad idea. Let's go ahead and see what the Orc King is all about. 132,000 HP, that's more like it. Weak to fire, spears, and bows. I think he also have damages swords, maybe? I might be misremembering that. He is primarily a buffer and hard-hitting physical attacker, but thankfully we have Brave Bear and Late Bloomer. Hopefully we can just dodge tank our way through this. Now, his ads aren't very strong, and so we can just Giga Gravity and take them all down right now. And there they go. Now we have Gloria's turn. We're gonna go ahead and do some more gambling here. Flash the cash, spend 50p, multiplied by the user's level to deal 30% that amount of damage to a target. Now, the thing about this, you cannot mimic this because you have to spend money based on a user's level. And if you mimic, that means you're not spending money. So this will do absolutely no damage. So it's kind of a weird thing. Spin the Wheel is also not too great at this point in time. It was better in the early game, but I didn't go over it at that point. Maybe if you're doing new game, you can take advantage of it, but it really isn't that worth it. We're going to be doing the odds and evens thing again, so let's go ahead and set that up. Odd, sucks. Okay, even. Even? Can I get a third one? Hey, let's go. It does not matter what even number you land on. If you land on an even number, the damage scaling will be the same. So if you land on a 2, it'll be the same damage multiplier as if you landed on a 10. So don't worry about landing on specific numbers. That comes later with other wheels. And when it comes to dealing with this Orc King here, we're just going to go ahead and try and send some Godspeed strikes, because honestly I don't really see a better way of dealing with this. Now I don't have the greatest stats on my characters right now. As you can see right there was half damage daggers, so I could swap that off. But we're still going to be getting some decent damage from Godspeed Strike regardless of that. Now with Seth, we're going to go ahead and set up Neo Cross Slash, I guess? There we go. He does counter heroic abilities, which is a little frustrating. He's at 27,000 HP. We can probably just send more Godspeed Strikes and he'll just die. Yeah, he's at 8,000 HP. Yeah, he'll die pretty soon. There we go. And we got a Flare Hatchet. Okay. Killed the Orc King. Let's go ahead and send this back to the little girl, and while I'm there, I will heal up and then go to our last rare monster. Hello there. Can you hand me my Blood Blade, please, little girl? Hee hee, take that, stupid orcs. I bet they're all crying over their stupid dead king. Well, boo-hoo. That's what you get for killing my Da, so suck it up. Hang on a sec, though. What if some orc gets all upset and tries to come after me for revenge? I mean, my ma would avenge me for sure, but then they'd probably just come after her for revenge for that. Ugh, where would it all end? Cycle of revenge. It's a nasty bastard, I'll tell you that. Thank you for my Blood Blade. You'll have to deal with that yourself. Sorry. Let's see here. Blood Blade. An ominous blade that's the color of freshly spilled blood. It has Steel Breath from the Thief's repertoire if used as an item. Its stats aren't too great, I guess. If you want to use Steel Breath to be able to steal HP, that's not a bad case, but I guess that'll just be hanging up on my wall instead of actually being used. I guess I could give it to Adele, but nah, we'll see. Now, the last crafty wee devil of the day is actually at the far northeast end of the Wiswald area. So we've got a bit of a hike for us today. Now, this enemy is a little quirky, I'll tell you that right now. Make sure to have a variety of weapons for your main attackers, because this enemy can do something that is pretty unique. Again, we've been around here before, I've talked about this guy. Let's go ahead and see what he's all about. This is Ball. Gives me a little bit of PTSD from the previous Bravely Default games, but you know what? We're not going to be talking about those today. Let's go ahead and see what you're all about. 156,000 HP, weak to water, light, and swords. It is an insect if that's something you care about. Now, Ball is a little interesting. He has the ability, or she, I don't know, let's go with an it. It has the ability to steal your weapons, and you will not get them back until the fight has concluded. So, make sure to have a variety of weapons for each of your attackers so you don't run into that issue. Regardless of that fact, I'm going to be sending Godspeed Strike for pretty much all of these hardcore enemies because, well, we're going to need that extra damage. And trust me, I mean, we'll be able to see what they do regardless. They have too much HP for me not to. So he's at a half HP now, okay. Acid Breath, very, very strong AoE, despite the fact that it gives us a defense down, which means that, oh man, 25%, really? Wow, okay. That'll hurt if they get to hit me again. Let's try and salvage this then. Let's go ahead and send Gloria here. We have the Elemental Wheel now. Spin a double wheel featuring both numbers and elements that perform elemental attacks on a random target based on the result. Now this can backfire on me. I know Ball absorbs a certain element. But you know what? What's life without a little bit of risk? We'll do one of those and then we will do the odds and evens thing again. What do we get? 10 wind attacks. So you can see right here, this does 10 wind attacks. Pretty decent damage output. And I'm not getting what I want. So that was an okay sequence of events right there, but nothing that I'm too proud of. Let's go ahead and just cross blast this guy. We're going to be seeing plenty of these rare monsters later on anyways, so don't feel too bad if I haven't been showing off what they can do. Oh, we got a dagger from him. Carnwenhan? I'm gonna go with that. Carnwenhan. Let's go ahead and see what you are all about. As you can see, the enemy did steal Gloria's bow, so we have to put that back on her. There we go, and let's take a look at that dagger. A legendary blade believed to be capable of piercing witches' black hearts. Lots of physical attack bonuses here. Decent magic attack boost as well. Does lower our speed. Oh, that's the Falcon. What's the speed difference here? Still pretty significant. Aim plus 114. Critical chance plus 16. Okay, I mean, this is decent. This is a decent dagger. Oh, no, it looks pretty cool, too. Nice. I'll take it. Yeah. Anyways, let's head back to Wiswall. Let's heal up, and we'll go ahead and conclude for the day. I'm going to be hunting down rare monsters passively as we journey to each region to wrap up quests and whatnot. So this was just me wrapping up rare monsters here in Wiswall and wrapping up the quests here as well. Next time on Bravely Default 2, we will definitely be going to someplace. I don't know what yet. My guess would probably be Reimdall? I have written down that Reimdall, and I have written down specifically Reimdall or Holograd, I don't know, figure it out. So, one of those places, I guess. So, with that said, I'll see you soon.